respect to our Professor Ma'am Nerissa M. Beatriz, my dear classmates, Diyos maray na aldaw po sa inyong amin. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning po.
Good morning, Flores, teacher to Buhi Central School. Kaya po, ginamit ko Diyos maray na aldaw po sa inyong amin. So, my report is Chapter 13, Maturation and Training. So, before I start my report, let's have first an activity. So, we call this as Let's Play. Okay, can you tell me what this is? Number 1. Can answer. Anyone po? Wala po? Okay.
No
So
idea, ma'am.
Opo, walang idea. Okay, so the title of the is foot loss. Yung foot loss, yung ano po ito, yung dati ay kilalang kanta or pelikula noon po. 1984 po ito. Next po, the title of the game. Ano po yan?
Shato.
Chato.
Okay po. Yan ay tinatawag nating shato or shatong, a stick game. So, yan ay mayroong maliit at may malaking stick na mayroong hukay. Doon po naglalaro. So, next po is name this commercial ad. Ano po kaya yan?
No idea ulit, ma'am.
Opo. Okay. So, this commercial ad, so ang tawag dito ay Goodbye Carlo ad for a hotdog brand back in the early 90s. So, 90s siguro ay pinanganak na tayo o hindi pa? Ako pinanganak na dyan.
Hindi pa po.
Ay, matanda na kasi ako. Okay, next po is the name of this thing. What is this?
CD.
CD or we
CD,
call
ma'am.
this as the floppy diskette.
Floppy disk.
Opo. And the last one, the title of the anime.
Ano?
Wala din po. So the title of this anime is Inuyasha. It's a
Inuyasha.
Japanese novel series written and illustrated by Yumiko Takahashi. So next is, were you able to relate? Why or why not? Nakarelate po ba kayo sa activity natin?
Yes po.
Yes, ma'am.
So yung iba po
Oo
nakarelate.
naman po. Pero yung iba pong picture hindi.
Opo nga po. Kasi po nakikita po dyan kung kailan tayo pinanganak. At yung time na yan ay hindi pa tayo na ipapanganak. So katulad po ngayon ay ang mga bata mas kilala nila ang cellphone, ang tablet, kesa po ang break game. Noon ay addict tayo sa break game. Di ba po ba? Pero ngayon, cellphone na ang pinapansin nila. Dati po ay typewriter lang ang ginagamit ng teacher. Pero ngayon, ano na po ang ginagamit? Computer na po. So, dati po ay gumagawa tayo ng lesson plan. Ngayon po, ano nang ginagawa natin? Nagsiseros ng modules or learner packet. So, dito po nagpapakita na habang po nagdadagdag or nagbabago ang panahon ay marami ding pagbabago or changes. Ano po? Okay, so next is, another is, activity is to test your level of maturity through these video clips. So you will need a pen or pencil and also paper to record your score for every test question. So kailangan po natin ng ballpen at papel Then after that, you need to add your points or score. So we'll find out your level of maturity. So are you ready po? Naka-ready na po yung mga papel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Wait. And then, what's that?
Apo, nakuha na po yung points. Okay, next po.
Alam ko din pala.
Okay po, next po. Yan po yung number 2. Mother.
Nakita ko rin actually. First pick of the Si, kita mo. Di pinapaload yung page.
So, yun na po yung score. Okay po, ma'am. So, balik na po tayo sa discussion. So, how did you find the activity? Ano po ang mental level niyo na po? Hello po. Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello po.
Share po yung
Hello,
na-observe
ma'am.
niyo po sa activity. So, yung sa result niyo po.
Ako, ma'am,
Ako, ma'am.
290.
Po.
Ma'am, 300.
Wow,
Ako po 310, ma'am.
So,
Ako po na-disconnect.
ay, na-disconnect
Hindi
po.
natapos.
Ako, ma'am, 330.
Yung
Ako ma'am
signal.
320.
Wow, lampas po. Sino pong nakaabot ng 51 years old?
Paata, ma'am.
Mga bata po pa kasi tayo, no? Okay, next po, ay dito na pa tayo sa picture. So, I have here picture A, B, C. So, what can you say about the pictures? Anyone can share? Sino pong pwede pong mag-explain? So, ano po yung nakikita po sa pictures A, B, C? Hello? Hello, ma'am? Nakikita po yung pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
Opo. So, ano po yung nakikita nyo po sa pictures? Yung mga bata na gumagawa ng mga
Group.
Okay, group
Activity, ma'am.
Opo,
Group
meron po
activity.
silang mga iba't ibang ginagawang group activity. So, ito ang ginagawa nilang activity ay because of meron silang training. So, itong process ng training. So, nagagawa nilang mag-drawing, magsulat because of training. So, next is, how about picture na letter D? So, what can you say about this picture? So these pictures shows a boy and a girl from their childhood to adulthood. So this is the process of maturation. So yun na po ang topic ko ngayon. So next is think back on when you were very young or very young child. Can you remember being physically small?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Wow.
Okay. Next is, how about the way you solve problems when you were very young? Di ba? Pag bata pa tayo, basta-basta lang tayo magsosolve ng ating problem. Pero pag tayo malaki na, pinag-iisipan talaga natin. So yun ang pagkakaiba ng bata at ng matured na. So next is, it shows that a boy is choose a boy and a girl from their childhood to adulthood. So next is, albeit it was very simplistic compared on how you figure things out now. So these types of question shed light on the process of maturation. So meron mga psychologists na nagbibigay ng definition about maturation. So first one ay si Krugman or Belton Marion Krugman. So according to Krugman, maturation as aging. So aging because as a child grows and develops, he also learns new things. And in the process, he or she matures, and that process of maturing from a child to an adult is now called as maturation. So according to Baldwin or James Smart Baldwin, maturation is an increase in competency and adaptability. So in children, maturation means going through their developmental or development stage. So it is them being able to do tasks. So meron silang mga ginagawang mga tasks na dati ay hindi nila ginagawa, na ngayon ay ginagawa na nila. For example, dati ay hindi sila nagluluto, ngayon ay marunong na silang magluto. Dati ay hindi sila marunong magsulat, ngayon ay marunong na silang magsulat. So, it can be said with maturing, there is an increase of competency and adaptability. So, number 3. So, according to Giselle or Arnold Losius Giselle, maturation is the net sum of the gene effects operating in self-limited life cycle. So, according to Giselle's theory, Giselle's maturation theory focus on the physical and mental development of children. He suggested that children will go through the same stages of development in the same sequence, but each child will go through the stages of their own rate. So the child personality is a product of slow, gradual growth. His nervous system matures by stages and natural sequences. For example, yung bata ay nauunang ginagawa nila ay maupo bago sila makatayo. And then he babbles before he talks. He fabricates before he tells the truth. And nakakagawa muna sila ng circle bago sila nakakagawa ng square. And he is selfish before he is altruistic. And he is dependent on others before he achieves dependence on self. All of these abilities, including his morals, are subject to laws of growth. The task of child care is not to force him into a predetermined pattern, but we need to guide them for her or growth. So next is, according to Adeline Vernia Wolf. So what is number 4? You can read number 4. You can read number 4. Anyone?
Mama ko
Yes,
po.
ma'am.
Okay po. Sige na po, ma'am.
Yes, that the children are able to do at certain ages tasks that they could not previously.
So thank you ma'am. Yung katulad din po siya ni Baldwin na yung bata ay gumagawa ng task na dati ay hindi niya ginagawa, ngayon ay ginagawa na niya. So this is, maturation is the process of becoming mature. The emergence of individual and behavioral characteristics through growth processes over time. It can also refer to any of the following, pwedeng yung fetal development or physical maturation of any biological life form. So next, number 5, you can read po. According to Boring, Longfeld, and Weld, you can read po.
Ako na po, ma'am.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you po.
boring, long-filled, and weld. Maturation means growth and development that is necessary either before any unlearned behavior can occur or before the learning of any particular behavior can take place.
Okay, thank you po, ma'am. So, maturation in the process of learning to cope and react in an emotionally appropriate way. It does not necessarily happen along with aging or physical growth, but it is a part of growth and development. So, it is already discussed ng report here about the growth and development. So, next po, number 6. Okay, read po. Gate and
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Maturation is growth that proceeds regularly within a wide range of environment condition or that takes place without special condition of stimulation such as training and practice.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Franz. Gate and Jersil describe development in terms of changes in the hidden phenomena of thoughts, feelings, and the self. And according to Jersil, research in adolescent and child development was an integral part of the activity of the Child Development Institute and its successor. So according to Jersil, did research on the developmental aspect of self-awareness and what school might be do to promote children's knowledge of self and their insight into the feelings and motivation of self and others. So next, number 7 po, si Gary and Kingsley. Who can read po?
I can read po.
Ako
Okay
po.
po, sir. Thank you po.
Sige po. According to Gary Emmanuel Shandling and Ben Kingsley, maturation is the process whereby behavior is modified as a result of growth and development of physical structures.
Okay po. Thank you, sir. So meaning as they grow physically, their behavior are modified according to their growth. So next is, the last one is according to Sister Barbara Gogayan. Okay, who can read po? Gogayan. So according to Sister Barbara.
Ako na, ma'am.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Sister Barbara Giogigan.
Gogayan.
In her book, Developmental Psychology, Sister Barbara says that maturation refers to the attainment, the fullness of development of a function.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Nahirapan din ako dito, ma'am. Nag-research. So, according to Gogayan, maturation is essentially a process of modification from within, an innate refining or development of the capacities of the organism. Example po nito yung halimbawa po tayo mga teacher ay nagtuturo tayo sa mga bata. Kung tayo nagtuturo sa bata at natuto yung mga bata, siyempre masaya po tayo, maganda ang pakiramdam natin. Then, as a function or your function as a teacher were fulfilled. So, yun po ang ibig sabihin nito. So, next is maturation, the process where which we change, we grow, and develop through our life. So, that is maturation. So, the types of maturation that will focus on this lesson are physical maturation and cognitive maturation. So next is, what is physical maturation? So when we say physical maturation, focus on the physical changes that occur as we age. So yung mga nagbabago habang nagdadagdag yung ating edad, ay ano yung mga nagbabago physically sa atin. So physical maturations occurs when our body grows and changes as we go or as we get older. So the definition of maturation in the process of growing up, example po, example dito yung halimbawa yung tayo bilang teacher ay ang career natin ay magturo. So ang responsibilidad natin ay magturo dahil tayo ay permanent teacher na. So, meron na tayong responsibilidad sa ating mga pupils. At kung may asawa na din po tayo, meron din tayong responsibilidad sa ating asawa at mga anak. So, the process of becoming mature. So, next. Growth and weight. Nagdadagdag na yung ating bigat. Yung taas natin, your body mass, expansion of muscle tissues, and seen in the process of maturation. Children, as they grow older, develop their motor skills and coordination skills, control of gait along the gross motor skills and fine motor skills. So, ito po yung pinag-discuss po sa atin ni Ma'am Tabernal sa chapter 6. So, as the name suggests, it indicates the physical development and growth that we go through as we get older. A child goes through some very distinct physical maturity as they progress though all these development stages. So for example, yung sample po dito is in early stages of development, a child depends on reflexes majorly. Then, as they age, they develop their motor skills and coordination. As also grow taller and also add more weight as they develop. Their body goes through hormonal changes as they leave adolescence and enter early adulthood. So, meron pa tayo dito mga pictures. So, picture A, B, C, D, and E. So, example of physical maturation. So, focus on the physical changes that occur as we age. For example, yung example at birth, we mainly use reflexes to interact with the world. For example, ito po yung sa picture A. Sucking is a reflex that allows us to take in nutrition. So, yan. So, sunod po, as we get older, we do not rely on our reflexes as much because we develop gross motor skills such as crawling, sitting up, walking, and running. Like, for example, picture B. So, next is picture C. We also develop fine motor skill for things like writing, drawing. And then this one, picture D and E, we grow taller and our weight increases. So nagdadagdag na yung kilo, tumataas na tayo. So we get from being infants to toddler, to kids, to adolescents, and finally adults. Surprisingly though, we do not stop maturing once we become adults. Through the process of aging, we move from early adulthood through middle adulthood and lastly into late adulthood. Physical changes happen in each of these stages. They are all example of physical maturation. Okay, so ito pa yung diniscuss din po ni Ma'am about physical maturation. It indicates the physical development and growth that we go through as we get older. So, nag-start sa fetus, sa infant, toddler, preschooler, primary school boy, adolescent, adult, and then the old person. So, a child goes through some very distinct physical maturity as they progress through all these development stages. So, next. So, ito po yung binigay na po sa atin yung physical development. So, there are 3 stages in children: the infancy, the early childhood, and childhood. Infancy begins sitting without support pag 3 months na siya. Then 6 months begins crawling and standing with assistance. 9 months standing on their own and walking with assistance. Early childhood, 12 months can stand and be short to take first steps. So nakakalakad na ng isa-isa. After that, 15 months begin to walk. Then 18 months able to begin stacking bricks. Then next is childhood. 2 years can run and walk down step at a time. Pag 3 years old, be able to catch objects, halimbawa yung ball. And they can also hold a pencil or to draw objects. 4 to 5 years old can climb, skip, hop, and can color it neatly. Okay, how about cognitive maturation? So cognitive maturation refers to the cognitive development of children from birth to adulthood. So ito yung pinag-discuss kanina ni Ma'am, ni Ma'am Emeline at ni Ma'am Antoinette. So it refers to how babies think, learn, interact with their environment. This process of cognitive development begins right at infancy. So some important aspect of cognitive development is the processing of information, language development, reasoning skills, and development of intellect and memory. An infant uses their sensory organs to explore their surroundings. By 3 months, infants can actually distinguish faces and sounds. So nakakakilala na sila, yung mga mama nila, yung kapatid nila, yung auntie, and also the sounds. And as they go through adolescence and their teenage year, the cognitive development continues. Each stage is earmarked with certain benchmark that the children or the teacher can focus onto the child's cognitive maturity. So next. So ito din yung theory about Jean Piaget. So this cognitive development already discussed by Ma'am Jeanette Unan. So ito po si Jean Piaget provided support for the ideas that children think differently from adults. And his result identified several important milestones in the mental development of children. So ito yung pinag-discuss na po dati ni Ma'am Jeanette Unan. So meron tayong stages, 4 stages. The sensory motor stage from 0 to 2 years old. The child, ito po. So the child begins to interact with the environment. The child learns by doing, looking, touching. So they all have a pre-shift. So next is, this one is the pre-operational stage from 2 to 7 years old. The child begins to represent the world symbolically. The child uses language and symbols, including letters and numbers. So dito na nag-start so pag 6 years old or 5, nag-start na siyang nag-aaral. So next is concrete operational stage from 7 to 11 years old. Yan na ay nasa primary and intermediate na po yung bata. So the child learns rules such as conservation. The child demonstrates conservation, reversibility, serial ordering, and a mature understanding of cause and effect relationship. And then the thinking of this stage is still concrete. Then the last one is formal operational stage. So from 12 to adulthood. So nag-start na dyan yung from grade 6 or grade 7 to adulthood. The adolescents can transcend the concrete situation and think about the future. So pwede na silang nag-isip na maghanap ng trabaho pagtapos na mag-aral. The individual demonstrate abstract thinking, including logic, deductive reasoning, comparison, and classification. So that is all about according to Jean Piaget. So next is, what are the characteristics of maturation? So number 1, who can read number 1?
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am. Number 1 po.
Some of the gene effects.
Okay, so some of the gene effects, maturation is the net sum of gene effects operating in a self-limiting life cycle. It is based on hereditary. It is the process of describing underlying potential capacity of an individual. How about number 2?
Number 2, automatic process.
Thank you po. So this is the maturation is an automatic process of somatic physiological and mental differentiation of and integration. Then number 3.
Number 3,
Ayan.
growth and
Opo,
development.
sige.
Growth and development.
Yung growth and development, yung nai-discuss na rin po ito sa atin ng ating mga kaklase. So this growth and development, the maturation means that the growth and development that is necessary either before any other behavior that occur or before the learning on any particular behavior can take place. It involves both structural and functional changes of performance. It helps an individual with structural change to reach at the age or the states of functional readiness. Then number 4 po. Number 4.
ma'am.
Completion of growth. Okay, so what is the completion of growth? Maturation is a stage of completion of growth and consolidating of mental, social, and emotional development. Number 5 po. Modification from within. So maturation is essentially a process of modification from within, and in it ripening and development of capacities of the organism. Number 6
Condition
po.
of learning.
Okay. Then modification from number 5 po is number 6 is the condition of learning. So maturation is essential condition of learning. It is the basis of learning, and the learning is the only source that makes human development complete. So next po. Number 7
po.
Po.
Ma'am, pa-accept daw po muna si Ma'am Michelle.
Hindi po ako ma'am yung host po si ma'am.
Ay, sorry po.
Si ma'am.
Ay, si Ma'am Neri ba?
Hindi po yung nauna po sa akin.
Ma'am Rosenet po.
Rosenet po.
Ma'am Rosenet, pasuyo naman daw po, ma'am. Pa-accept daw po siya.
Nilipat ko na po kay ma'am yung host.
Ikaw na ma'am Janine ang host nakalagay po.
Ay, akala ko po. Paano po?
Pa-accept na lang daw po siya, ma'am.
Ma'am, hindi ko po nakikita, naka-full screen kasi ako. Paano po, ma'am?
Diyan po ma'am sa participants.
Okay na po? Okay na po, ma'am. Okay na po. So, next is, okay na po, ma'am. Nakapasok na po. Okay, next po is number 7, factors of maturation. So, maturity has been considered as the process of learning. So, there are 3 factors underlying the process of learning: the acquisition, retention, and recall. Then number 8 is essential for learning. Maturity is essential for physical and mental training. Attainment of physical and mental maturity is essential to get proficiency on any task or any work. As maturity is an automatic process, there is no need to external arousing objects or stimulus. Next is number 9, maturity and physical fitness. The development of mature learning behavior also depends on physical fitness of the learner. So, acquisition, retention, and recall. So, parehas din po yun sa factors underlying the learning. So, next is, the last one is training before maturity. So, ano po yung training before maturity is useless. So, training imparted before maturity is useless to learn any activity. So, dapat mauna munang mag-mature yung bata bago ka magbibigay ng training. So, physical maturity is as important as mental maturity. Hence, before imparting training to the child, it is the foremost duty of the parents and also the teacher. So, tayo po, to see that the child is fully mature or not. So, from the point of view of his physical and mental maturity. So, nakikita po natin dito kung saan tayo mag-start ng ating training. So, from the next is, disobedience of the norm will result into disappointment. So, maturation and learning have been considered as two different aspects of the same process. So, next is, hello po.
Yes,
Hello
ma'am.
po.
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
stop na po yung anak mo.
Hindi pa po.
Hindi ko na kasi nakikita yung ano ko.
Nasa 10 ka po, ma'am.
Apo.
Number 10 po.
Okay po. Nag-ano po kasi. Next is the signs of maturity. So, what are the signs of maturity? So, sa inyo po kaya, ano po ang signs of maturity?
Makakalimutin na, ma'am.
Makakalimutin na po. Ano pa po?
Kapag nananahimik ka na lang, imbis na makipag-away,
Nananahimik na lang
makipagtalo.
tayo. Opo, para hindi na po tumagal yung discussion. So, nananahimik na lang po tayo. So, ano pa po? Pag pinagalitan, hindi na po sasagot. Hindi na magmamaktol. So, meron tayong signs of maturity. So, first is, pinread po.
Ma'am.
Opo. Sige po, ma'am.
Maturity.
Maturity is when you stop trying to change people and instead focus on changing yourself.
Yan. So ibig sabihin ko, so according to Confucius, sabi nga po niya, I do not do unto others what you do not want do unto you. So, dapat mag-focus ka muna sa sarili mo bago baguhin yung iba. Di po ba?
True yan, ma'am. Madami yan. Madami
Tama yan,
yan.
ma'am.
Tingin ang tingin muna sa iba bago
Yan.
bago yung sarili niya. Yan, si
Correct,
Marites.
Yes, ma'am.
Si Marites yan, ma'am. Si Marites.
Opo nga, ma'am. Okay, next is number 2 po.
Number 2, signs of maturity. Maturity is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back.
Okay, so yan nga po. Kung nasa ano na tayo, sa pagtuturo. So halimbawa po ngayong naalala ko po yung kwento ni Sir Harvey, yung pinagalitan siya ng kanyang principal dahil hindi siya nagpaalam. So imbis po na magalit din si Sir Harvey, ang ginawa niya po ay naghumingi siya ng tawad sa kanyang superior. So ganin din po yung ginagawa natin. So imbis na tayo ay makipag-away din sa ating superior, sa ating principal, ay tayo na lang po ang nagpapakumbaba. So that is the sign of maturity. Opo. Okay. So next po. Number 3 po.
Number 3, maturity is when you accept people for who they are.
Okay, so sabi nga, kahit nga siya ay marites, o hindi man siya marites, ay accept natin siya kasi tao pa rin siya. So, don't judge easily. So, si marites, baka may pinagdadaanan, kaya ganyan siya. So, don't judge easily, respect differences, so you become more open-minded. So, a sign of maturity. So, next, number 3 po, ay 4.
Maturity is when you understand that everyone is right in their own perspective.
Okay, so ibig sabihin po, respect each other's opinion. So, kung anong opinion niya, i-respect natin. So, yan kasi ang galing din sa kanya. Meron kang idea, meron din siyang idea. So next po, number 5.
Maturity is when you realize that nothing is more important in this world than you and your family.
Okay, so napaka-importante po yan. So, of course, bago tayo mag-start sa iba, mag-start muna tayo sa sarili natin. And also to our family. Huwag na muna natin pakialaman yung iba. Ano po? So, next po, number 6.
Maturity is when you understand that whatever you do you for your own peace.
So, meaning you are now responsible in whatever action you do in life. So, kung anong ginawa mo, ikaw ang responsible niyan. Marunong ka na yan. Okay, next. Number 7. Maturity is when you stop providing to the world how intelligent you are. So, pinapakita mo, ikaw ang pinaka magaling, ikaw ang pinaka marunong. So, dapat hindi po ganyan. So, ibig sabihin, action speaks louder than words. Let your achievement do the talking. So, sila ang gaano kagaling, hindi ikaw. Next po. Maturity is when you focus on positives and people. So meaning you are now more proficient and their good deeds rather than talking their misbehaviors. Ano po? So hindi natin pagsasabi yung mga mali nila, yung mga negative nila. So yung sasabihin natin yung mga positive na ginagawa nila. So, next, number 9 is maturity is when you do not seek approval from others. So meaning you are confident on what you are doing. So wag kang mag-aano ng lagi ka na lang nakarely sa iba. So kaya mo yan, di ba? So dapat mayroon kang self-confidence. So next, number 10. Maturity is when you stop comparing yourself to others. Yan, yung nag-iinggit ka kasi ang galing-galing niya tapos ikaw hindi. So dapat ay, sabi nga sa desiderata, do not compare yourself to others because there are greater and lesser person than yourself. So, ikaw ang pinaka-importante. So, wag mong i-compare yan sa iba. So, next is number 11. Maturity is when you are at peace with yourself. So, inner peace, spiritual calmness. So, yan po ang ibig sabihin po ng number 11. Malapit na po tayo. So, next is number 12. Maturity is when you differentiate between need and want and you can let go of your wants. So, dapat mayroon tayong self-control. So, tayong mga teacher, naka-receive na tayo ng bonus noong November pa. So, dapat alam natin kung ano ang need natin, ano ang want natin. So, na ano natin na babalance na yung ating pangangailangan. Hindi yung kailangan dahil nag-11-11, mag-order ka sa Lazada, sa Shopee. Di po ba, ma'am? Hindi natin nakokontrol yung sarili natin. Kaya matulog na lang tayo pag 12-12 po. Okay. So next, number 13. Maturity is when you stop attaching happiness to material things. So ito nga yung yung sigo lagi ka, pag may pera, sige, ubos-ubos lang. Tapos na wala na, pag December wala na yung pera, wala na yung bonus natin. So, your happiness is more of your inner self. So, next. Then, number 14. Maturity is when you learn to let go. Accept the situation and move on. No, ito, nababagay ito, ma'am, sa mga dalaga at binata. Ako kasi hindi nadala na ko. May asawa na ako. So, dapat ay, dito sa number 14, you accept things that you are not meant to be. So, hindi kayo para sa isa't isa. Let go and move on.
Move on.
Tama yun, ma'am. Tama.
Move on.
Opo, ma'am.
Move on.
Yan. So, maturity is when you don't react to the behavior of insane people. So, hindi ka nagre-react. You are not affected by the noise around you. Yan. Hindi ka makipagsama sa kanila kung maingay man sila. So, baka makasama ka sa chismis. Yan. Kasi kasama kang nagre-react. Next, number 16. Maturity is when you are able to drop expectations from a relationship and give for the sake of giving. So, yung number 6 po, yan ang tinatawag natin selfless love. Ano po? So, next. Then, number 17 po, can read po number 17. Malapit na po tayo.
Maturity is learning to walk away from people and situations that threaten your peace of mind, self-respect, values, morals, or self-worth.
Okay, thank you po, ma'am. So, ito yung tinatawag natin pag sa number 17 po. Dapat ay matuto tayong magpili ng mga non-toxic environment and people. Ano po? Di pa po ba? So, yung mga toxic people, dapat ay lumayo tayo dyan. So, next po is, last po is number 18. So, maturity is when you have a lot to say, but you choose to remain silent in front of all. So, ibig sabihin, you sometimes prepare to be silent than engage in a nonsense fight. Ano po? So, hindi ka na lang nag-i-emit. So, that is, ayan po ang mga signs ng maturity. So, last po, dito na tayo sa training. So, yung training ay halo na po yan sa maturation kanina. Pero ibibigay ko pa rin po yung ano ang training. So, what is training? Training is teaching or developing in oneself or others any skill and knowledge of fitness that relate to specific useful of competencies. So, training is more hands-on and practical and intended to develop abilities. Training can be a skill learned through teaching or any level. And the trainers add skills into existing knowledge. Training is not as general and tends to concrete on skills development. And then training is also the process of learning something with a goal of performing a specific skill or behavior. It aims to improve the knowledge and understanding of subject that require learning by the pupil or the trainee. So what is the purpose of training? Is to educate person to improve their capacity to understand key issues, gain skills, and develop academically. And then training is the sharing of knowledge and experience also. So training is an activity that facilitates also learning. So, training is also intense aspect of improvement within the sporting or competitive world of individual achievements. And also training refers to providing guidance, instruction, and coaching to someone in order to impart skills and knowledge to an intended level for a specific purpose. So yan po yung training. So who can describe training in this picture? Anyone? Eileen, please help.
Ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay po, ma'am.
Ito ano the picture. According po to the picture, training provides coaching and teaching of knowledge and skills that which will provide experience and learning to attain development or wholesome development. Yun.
Thank you po, ma'am. Okay, sino pa po?
Ako po, ma'am.
Okay po, ma'am. Sige po.
Hello.
Sino po?
Sir.
Ako po.
Sige po, sir.
Ako po, sir. To summarize the training, I think in my opinion po, ma'am, is for professional growth and the development of everyone. Kasi nandoon po yung learning, teaching, coaching. So, of course, it addresses to all the teachers and to all the, of course, the students and for everybody. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, and meron pa po, bago tayo
Ma'am,
Okay po, ma'am.
karagdagan lang po, ma'am.
Okay po, ma'am.
Training, ma'am, is a teaching or developing in oneself or others. Any skills, ma'am, and knowledge or fitness that relate to specific useful competencies. So training also refers, ma'am, to the development of physical fitness, skills, the experience, the learning, and development. So it related to the specific competence such as the sports, the martial arts, military application, and some other occupation. Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po. So, thank you po sa lahat ng nag-share po. So, dito na po tayo, malapit na po tayo. Dito na po tayo sa reflection. So, reflection. So, meron tayo dito mga butterflies. Ano po? So, which among the butterflies describe your maturity and why? So, pwede po kayong pumili dyan bilang reflection nyo po. Ano po kayo dyan?
Yung red.
Okay, sino pong pwede mag-share?
Yung blue.
Okay po. Bakit po blue? Bakit po red?
Kasi ma'am, yung red, kasi full of love
Wow.
sa family.
Wow, si Mau. Galing. Bakit po blue?
Ano sa akin, yung level of maturity kasi is yung hindi na yung sarili mo lang yung iniisip mo, but you're thinking about the others also. So kaya magaan sa buhay kapag ganun yung level of maturity mo, magaan sa life na hindi lang yung sarili mo yung iniisip mo, but you're thinking of others also. Kasi gano'n naman talaga pag matured ka na na tao.
Po, ma'am.
Hindi na yung puro sarili lang, diba?
Okay,
Yun dun
puro
na
po lang.
nakikita.
Ay.
Kasi hindi naman ikaw lang, ikaw lang. Kasi hindi lang ikaw yung tao sa mundo. So you have to consider other also in terms of socialization or in terms of talking to them, how you will talk to them in a polite manner, yung hindi ka makaka-offend, you're very considerate and nag-iisip ka talaga na hindi ka makasakit ng ibang tao. And that's why for me, I choose a blue kasi parang lighten up ng buhay kapag nagma-matured ka talaga. Mas less yung stress, mas less yung mas less yung wala kang masyadong iniisip. Ganon. Kasi life is too short. You don't need to worry about anything. So you just have to enjoy kung ano yung yung buhay mo. Kaya one of the key is to be matured enough as a person.
Opo. Okay. Sino pa po?
That's all, ma'am.
Thank you po. So, meron pa po gustong mag-share?
Ma'am, interpretation ito? May interpretation?
Opo. Pwede rin po.
Orange, ma'am. Orange.
Ano pong gusto niyo po, ma'am?
Orange na may yellow.
Okay,
Ito.
ma'am. Bakit po kaya, ma'am?
Kasi I am a positive person. Very vibrant ako. Ayan. So parang pag orange kasi sa yellow, 'di ba? Parang siya. Positive lang, happy lang, parang ganyan, ma'am. Kaya I chose that butterfly. Sige nga, ma'am, yung interpretation nito. Yung interpretation,
Patingin, ma'am. Na-excite kami.
Kaya nga, dapat may mga ganito tayo, di ba? Para
personality test. Ano ibig sabihin ng color blue?
Green. I want green.
Ako, ma'am, green, ma'am.
Bakit po? Ano po, sir, ang napili mo, sir?
Ako po, ma'am.
Sir, sige po.
Kira mo, sir.
Sir.
Ako po, ma'am. Good morning po, ma'am. Ako po, ma'am. Yung green.
Sige po,
It's either light green. Opo. Green kasi po, ma'am, para sa akin, di ba kailangan natin na mayroong peace of mind sa ating sarili. So, yung hindi po tayo nakakasakit sa iba, ginagampanan natin yung tunay nating pagkatao. So, kung mayroon tayong peace of mind, papasok na po yung pagmamahal natin sa ating sarili at sa ating kapwa. So, kailangan po natin to para mas lalo po natin na magampanan yung pagiging isang mabuting tao. So, yun po, peace of mind. Green.
Opo. Wow, thank you, sir. So, meron pa po gustong mag-share? Last na po ito. So,
Okay.
after po nito, matatapos na po ako.
Actually, ma'am, sa psychology, may talaga, may interpretation yung kada kada color. That is called color psychology, the art of psychology, 'di ba? Ito mga colors.
Opo, ma'am. Okay. So, wala na po. So, mag-end na po ako as a whole. Ito po yung ibig sabihin niyan. So, we are all butterflies with regards to maturity. We undergo phases to become what we are now. Like butterflies, we first came out of our shell as we stand on our own. We became larvae to learn and not so good around us and learn lessons from them. Then, like the pupa, we have to pose and design what we want for ourselves. Lastly, we become adult, a true butterfly who underwent metamorphosis to become better version of ourselves. That is maturity. Then, thank you and thank you po sa mga nag-share po. And thank you po kay Ma'am Nerissa.